या देवी सर्वभूतेषु शक्तिरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः। या देवी सर्वभूतेषु मातृरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः। या देवी सर्वभूतेषु मीरारूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः। पूज्य माँ भगवती, पूज्य Sri Arvind, you all are the chosen children of our Divine Mother. The Herculean task of the entire creation has been undertaken by Lord Supreme, and the deputy for undertaking this task most successfully beforehand, and that too with a view to creating new relativity and reality together, was entrusted to Sri Aurobindo by the Supreme, and the action that was taken up directly from the Supreme through this process of yoga of ascent and yoga of descent is the dissolution of death. The death of death is the master agenda taken up in this era, and that too before our very nose. We are not only fortunate, but we are responsibly fortunate to undertake this responsibility, and in response to the responsibility being undertaken by us unconsciously, ignorantly, is so reciprocated to by the Supreme Divine in this birth. So our this birth is also tremendously remarkable, within which we are made fortunate enough to witness the master clue that was offered by Supreme to the creation. That is new creation. And where there is new creation, Mother says that there is no disease, no suffering, no misery, no accident, no calamity, nothing as such negatively impacted incident of any magnitude. Life will be totally free from this, will be of a different stuff, will be of a different consciousness, and will be of a different velocity. So science is also included, reality is also included, spirituality is also included, all different disciplines of the universe are all included, and the only and only essence of truth in toto is being so manifested that it will be Anand and immortality together. It will be bliss and immortality together. It will be peace, bliss and immortality, the Trinity directly derived from the Omkar. is the boon given to all of us, to all of us. Where there is no death, and for the first time the experience of death is so spelt out, is so defined, that there will be no doubt whatsoever. If we follow this programming, if we follow the footprints of the action taken up by the Supreme directly on the earth, descending from there in toto, that is the fathomless zero occupied the world. It is the fathomless zero. It is Analhak. It is Shunya of Lord Buddha. It is Arihant of Lord Mahavir Swami Bhagwan. And it is Analhak and Hakikat, both together of Amin Allah Ta'ala. It is the kingdom of God, heaven of God. It is the master way, chalked out, chartered by Supreme Himself on the earth. That is the way from death to immortality. Mrityorma Amrutam Gamaya has been for the first time in the history of existence accomplished. Then this experience, Satprem writes, then this experience of the death of death becomes clearer. Death of death becomes clearer. Now it is clearer to me. That is what Satprem says. It is Mother who gave all multidimensional definitions of death before Satprem, and ultimately little knowledge of Satprem, little understanding of Satprem, little receptivity on the part of Satprem are all cleared up, and the true, concrete and total definition of death as such, as illusion, as hallucination, as must and what not, has been completely and totally clear and dissolved before Satprem, and now Satprem could appropriately understood it, and he acknowledged. Mother says, the impression we have in ordinary life, few people are aware of it, is one of being subjected to a destiny, to a fate. We accept death as the destiny accomplished, fate accomplished. It is because of our destiny that we are every day drawing, every minute we are being drawn to death. Death is not an accident in our life. Every moment we are dying, and ultimately we get permanently separated. Our spirit gets permanently separated from the body. Our spirit permanently get dislocated, and that is a must. We accepted it to be our destiny accomplished. We cannot alter, nor we can revolt against it, nor we can abolish it. To a destiny, to a fate, to a will, to a set of circumstances, the words make no difference. It's something that weighs on you and seeks to manifest through you. It is our destiny, and day will come when we'll have to undergo it. We cannot avoid it. That is what for the common mass, for the common people. But since the experience of the death of death that is experienced concretely by Mother, we also have been relaxed, we also have been made free, we also have been relieved from these destined clutches of death. So it is not the death of death on this part of the Mother alone. It is the death of death on our part too, on the part of the Creator as well as on the part of the creation too. And that is now the new age which is going to dawn, where everything will be there, everything will be similar to our old world there, accepting death. Accepting death. Death has been completely abolished. I have the impression before, when I worked on people, when I started working on my sales, at that time simultaneously I was made to work on people also, people of the world, people of the existence, on entire humanity. It was my program that was so launched that it covers the entire existence, the entire cosmos. So this is what the action direct from the Supreme to be accomplished by Sri Aurobindo all alone on the earth. Direct and decisive action direct from the Supreme. On people, either to keep them from dying, either to keep them from dying or to help them once they had died. Hundreds and hundreds of things I was doing all the time. It was not only one thing that I was undertaking at that time. Hundreds and hundred, innumerable things I was taking at a time, and it is the death of death that is the blessing given to each and everybody, people who are dying, people who have died, people who are living, and people who are yet to be born. From dying, or to help them once they had died. Hundreds and hundreds of things I was doing all the time. I did it, mother says. I did it with the sense that death was something to be overcome or subdued, or something whose consequences one had to correct. Up till now, the death we have lived in all our previous births, the engrams as such, are still being borne by us in this birth, where death is defeated, death is confronted. Death, once is defeated by Savitri, is once again defeated by me, and I have accomplished this task in such a way that there will be no more death. Everything will be there, but everything will be of different stuff, everything will be of different light, everything will be of a different consciousness that is all aware with the phenomenon of birth and the phenomenon of death, but that is under the governance of the centrally located spirit. There will be no longer any separation as death between spirit and matter. Matter has been under the direct governance, under the direct new governance, under the direct new replacement of power, under the governance of the Supreme Consciousness directly on the earth. So any matter, any form of matter, either is human matter, inert matter, animal matter, divine matter, or what is it? Doesn't matter. But it is under the direct supreme governance. So it is a new governance, it is a new modus operandi, it is a new life, it is a new power, because everything as such is derived finally from new light of consciousness. I did it with the sense, mother says, I did it with the sense that death was something to be overcome or subdued, or something whose consequences one had to correct. As if it was assignment given to me and I was to correct it, I was to rectify it. The entire existence was giving in a different direction. Now I have to give U-turn to this existence. I have to give new turn to the modus operandi of existence. I have to charter a new way for the new existence to be in the direction towards immortality. You overcome or subdue an enemy, Satprem writes. Then mother, you overcome and subdue an enemy, and you give the enemy a great deal of strength by struggling with him. You have given great strength to the enemy. that being a divine, you will have to undergo this much of struggle in order to end this enemy, in order to end death, in order to conclude life not in death but in immortality. So, does enemy, this is logic on the part of Satprem, does enemy deserve this much of strength to be derived and to be wasted and to be invested and to be spent out by divine? Is it such a great enemy that you are facing? Satprem understands. Our logic also falls short of it as compared to the logic applied to the programming of mother by Satprem. See, by enemy a great deal of strength by struggling with him, but what if there is no enemy? What is there is nothing except an illusion. Then life hereafter, after death as enemy is over, then what will remain? Whatever sort of life, whatever type of world, whatever type of existence is left out after death is kept out of this route, then what will happen? What will remain there as residue? Only illusion. Only illusion. That is also another question. How this vacuum of death be refilled? Is there anything with which this vacuum of death will be refilled? What will be the substitute of this death? Mother says, now my position has changed, but then it sometimes takes years to become a conscious power. It takes so many years. My position is changed. I am in the other world. I am in the cosmic magnitude. I am in the universal magnitude. I was deputed on the earth as individual universal motherhood. I am universal motherhood, so individualized as mother of Pondicherry Ashram here in my room, but now my position at this juncture of time is different. Though I am living in this room, I am not living in my room. I am living in this room along with my permanent abode of the supramental motherhood I have achieved. So my position is changed. My position from ordinary motherhood, I have been now universal supramental motherhood. Position has changed, but then it sometimes takes years to become a conscious power. But I still think that who am I? Who am I? Who am I? What am I at this junction to do? What am I at this point of time should do? What am I required to fulfill still for the supramental existence, supramental world, for the life divine? In this case, Mother says, in this case, the conscious power would mean the capacity equally to cause death or to prevent it, to cause the movement of the necessary forces, almost a mechanical action of the cells. The mechanical actions of the cells which experience death up till now. The true reality, the true light, the true power, we may call mind. The mind of cell up till now was so dormant, was not dynamically brought out, was not dynamically motivated. Now consciously I must do for the entire universe to make their cells so activated that their minds hidden in their cells also may be motivated as I motivated in my body. So our sadhana is being undertaken by the mother, and mother is to do our sadhana, has been promised by the mother. This will be my next power. To cause the movement necessary forces, almost a mechanical action on the cells and that power would mean you can cause death, you can prevent death. You can cause death and you can prevent it. You can leave death, but you can prevent it also at the final and ultimate turn. We can cause death, but just ultimately we are going to become the victim of the death. That was our destiny up till now, but now that course is changed. We can cause death, we can use our body, we can use the energy that has been given to us, but we cannot, that sort of movement will not result into death, because we can prevent it also. That is the new power that I will give to entire existence hereafter. You can prevent death. There is no longer the habitual sensation of a sharp rift between life and death. There is not a sharp rift between life and death. Life is meant for death. Death is inevitable, or any life that will have to face death, and death is the final destiny for any life. Now that rift has been overcome, that rift has been abolished, and now only and only the will of the Supreme, will of the consciousness, will of the spirit cabined and imprisoned in the body will have to activate, will have to exercise this new power, new consciousness, new light and new time. Sensation of a sharp rift between life and death, which is its opposite. Death is not the opposite of life. Death is not the opposite of life. Every day we are dying. Every day we are experiencing death. But every day we are simultaneously experiencing the mastery over death too. Every day we are experiencing the mastery over death too. It is the supreme power of soul, it is the supreme power of our consciousness will be also simultaneously motivating along with our life. That will be the de novo, new over life. Death is not the opposite of life. I realized then, and I have never forgotten it. Death is not the opposite of life. It's like a change in the cells functioning. It's like a change in the cells functioning. Up till now, cells were functioning indifferently, ignorantly, in darkness, bringing out, manifesting its own light, its own invincibility, its own immortality, its own mind, its own real potentiality, which can transform our mental being, vital being and physical being totally. It's like a change in the cells functioning or in their organization, Their government is changed. Their appearance is changed. Their modus operandi is changed. Their module is changed. Their formation is changed. Because formula of life is changed. Formula of death is changed. Formula of living is changed. Governance is changed. Power that is in the spirit has been the supreme power, so established that it has started working in cosmos. The same power started working in this microcosmic reality of our life. That is our life. Our life is not merely just atomic existence. Just like a micro existence only, it has become micro divine on the earth. It's not micro existence, it has become micro divine. So what divine does it is here replied, is here lived as replica to the divine. Is not merely ounce, is not merely part of it. It is the whole, but in a miniature. It's whole, but in an atomic existence. Whole in a drop the entire ocean started living in the drop of it. It is drop that has become the entire ocean. Drop can be an ocean, and ocean can be a drop once again. It can come into life, it can experience death, it can avoid death, and it can create new life at a time simultaneously in the same life. So body can be created by the cellular potentiality. Body can be formulated by cellular potentiality. Body can be created by the smallest molecule of the spirit, as Lord Krishna presented himself before so many people. The Lord Krishna expired. Lord Krishna had given his life before 5,000 years back. The same Krishna appeared before Meera and Narsi Mehta, Sakubai. So what Krishna, which Krishna, who is that figure that presented that? It is the self-expansion of the atom of the divinity, atom of the divine, atom of the supreme that has expanded itself to his choice, and the form that was selected, accepted, preferred by Lord Krishna became that divine atom, became that form of the body. So body is also divine, spirit is also divine, movement is also divine. Nothing is less than divine, is the governance newly established for all and entire existence. Organization. And once you have understood that, it is very simple. You can easily keep it from going this way or that way. You can easily keep it from going this way or that way. You can experience it this way or that way. No way is compulsory for you to dissolve. No way is compulsory for you to just extinguish. Every way is under your control. You can be omnipotent. You can be omnipotent. You should not accept your limitation as human mortality. Now, human mortality is over. You are human as well as you are divine. You are divine, you can be human. This is what the governance entrusted to you hereafter. This dying unto death was so clear, Mother says. This dying unto death was so clear. It was overwhelmingly powerful. It was overwhelmingly powerful. Now death, compulsion for death in our life is over. Just for the sake of it. That is, disappearance is death for immortality. You can disappear. You can manifest. You can withdraw yourself. You can project yourself. But it is at will. It is at will. Death was so clear, it was overwhelmingly powerful, and with the impression easy, it's easy. There is no question of easy or difficult, Mother says. There is no question of easy or difficult. It is a spontaneous, it's a natural and so lovely. It is spontaneous, it is natural and so lovely. You will have not to try for it. You will get it as a part of your nature. You can get it as a part of your reality. You can get it as a part of yourself. It is yourself. It is your own potentiality. God has not to prove that He is God. Divine has not to prove that He is divine. Divine is divine. Beyond proof, beyond experience, beyond anything. It is de facto reality, and the de facto reality as such only exists. There is nothing beyond it exists. That will be the new life. That will be the new over life. So Satprem writes thereafter. That's just it. Natural. That is just it. Natural. It will be naturally taken. It will naturally take place. It is the natural state par excellence. It is the natural state par excellence. You cannot imagine it. Now Satprem understood it totally, And I think Satprem might have understood it in toto. The real concept of immortality, march from mortality to immortality, march from human existence to superhuman existence, march from human being to superhuman being, march from ordinary nature to super nature is the formula totally understood by Satprem, and thereafter he admits we have entered a bowl of unreality where we become aware of all sorts of disasters which naturally happen because we are aware of them. Now anything that happens to us will be in tune with our consent. If anything takes place in our life, might be disaster, might be unhappiness, might be suffering, might be disaster or whatever calamity might be there, but it will be to our choice. It will be as per our selection. It will be as per the part of our play. Lord Supreme accepts world, miseries of the world, disasters of the world, plight, wars, massacre of the world, existence, world. That is because of his own Anand. It is his Leela, the little plot of mortality touched by the tenant, our self-consciousness became a playground of the living infinite. In appearance, it might be something different, but to the doer, to the actor, to the person who is supposed to do it and execute it, is just and just Nijanand. Self-satisfaction, self-pleasure, self-anand. This is Anal Haq. Hakikat became Anal Haq. Any truth of life becomes Anand. Any truth of life becomes pleasure, joy, Nijanand, Swanta Sukhaya. You are committed, you are endowed, you are empowered rather. You are empowered to put divinity into action, though circumference is of mortality, but the stuff put into action is not mortality. Stuff put into action is light. Stuff put into action is consciousness. Stuff put into mold is supreme stuff, supreme element, supreme substance, and supreme substance is the substance of the divine. So matter has been totally divinized. Matter as such has been totally divinized. No distinction and distance remains left out unundertaken by the divine, that matter becomes so divinized that matter is spirit and spirit is matter. Matter is matter which has become spirit permanently. Which naturally happens because we are aware of them. But strangely, at that moment, it was as if there were nothing, so nothing happened. There was no accident. There would be no accident. Everything will be willful act. Everything will be willful act. And the person who wills it, the agency who wills it, the quantum who wills it, knows that it is going to take place. So destiny is also our action, destiny is also our agenda, future is also our present, and our present, past and future, they have just remolded into timeless, and the past, present and future remolded into timeless is infinity. Is infinity. Happened. There was no accident for a minute. See, there was no accident for a minute. I was in the natural state. For death to occur, there has to be a contact with death. First of all, we have to contact death. If action of death, act of death is to be presented as if actor presents the act of murder, actor presents the act of looting, actor presents the act of robbery, actor presents the act of God, actor presents the act of Shaitan. On the stage is a willful act, is not compulsion. For Anand, it was presented. It was staged. Similarly, we live as for our Anand, as for our Leela, as for our divine pleasure in the mortal appearance, but it's not the mortal body. Body is immortal, spirit is immortal, motion is immortal, that is infinity, and everything that is divine, and the entire existence hereafter will be the divine existence for Anand. No need of any such things, Ahar, Nindra, Bhai and Maithun. They will be the dreams of the past. We have all passed those dreams and now we are above all of them. These are all mortal phenomena. We have crossed over them and now we have become the full-fledged, fully authorized owner of this reality because we have been demigod. During those range of time, we have been and we would be demigod. Contact with death. But what if there is no contact? Satprem still raises the question. What if there will be no contact? If we cannot contact our consciousness, if we cannot contact our centrally located spirit, then what will happen? A change in the cells functioning, almost a mechanical action on the cells, a wrong position of consciousness not corrected fast enough. If our change of consciousness would not take place, then we'll have to accept this scenario because of our indifference, because of our absence of readiness, because of our absence of preparedness. But if we are aware slightly and open up ourselves, then supramental will take charge of our consciousness, whatever it is and at whatever stage it is, but it will be so changed hereafter. Because probability has been launched by me through my body, through the portals of my body newly formulated. A wrong position, and we keep coming back to that traversal through the web of the physical mind, with the means of physical mind that we have already shot from our cells will definitely work this way and will create a new assembly as such to exercise new governance in our body, provided we silence our mind, provided we sidetrack our meddling mind, provided we keep our mind slightly away from it, our psychic will automatically come to the forefront and get in this contact, and contact means contact with the supramental. Years later, mother was coming close to the key. Years later, thereafter 1 year. Mother says, the problem for me is finding the process in order to have the power to undo what has been done. Death, the whole enveloping web of unreality. Death as enveloping web of unreality has to be totally smashed. That is what my programming. Death, the whole envelope web of unreality. After all these years, that is after 62 to 72, these years, there is something that wants to have that power or the key. That key is to be so generalized, that key is to be so publicized, that key is to be so made general, as general nature for anybody who is existing on this earth. The key, the procedure is to be established. And which will be the procedure? That these new souls of new consciousness are to be deputed on the earth to execute the power of the key which I have acquired. The power of the key which I have acquired, the process, the way, the new chartered route to immortality as propounded by me has to be followed, has to be adopted by new deputed souls. They will be adopting my way. They will be using and exercising my key, the key which I have acquired with tremendous adventure of consciousness and endeavor has to be utilized and has to be put into practice very commonly by the people who are being deputed hereafter. Has been done, death, the whole enveloping web of unreality. After all these years, this is something that wants to have that power or the key, the procedure, and it is perhaps necessary to feel or live this side of things, and that is how the new world will be born. This is how the new world will be functioning. This is how the new world will be coming into existence very soon. In order to be able to do that, in order to be able to in order to make this new world manifest hereafter, she turns it in the other direction. What is remarkable is that now that the mind of the cells has become organized, that the mind of the cells I have found has been so organized that now it becomes the treasure for the future world, treasure for the new world, treasure for the new light, and treasure for the all procedures, processes, modus operandi, symbols, species, new human species, new human species of overman, demigod, whatever name and nomenclature we may ascribe to them, but they will have this power of the organized cellular new patterns of new reality. Organized. It seems to be going at top speed. See, it seems to be going at top speed. There is no speed. It is exclusive acceleration with which this new implementation has already started. Top speed through the entire course of human mental development. Human mental development will be also side by side so motivated to ascend that it will be really a divine blessing to the new souls deputed on the earth with the new body, with new cellular organization, with new cellular portals. Speed through the entire course of human mental development in order precisely to reach, and this is the key. This is the key I found out, and now you will have to be ready to recognize the key, to recognize the probability, to experience the probability with opening your chamber a little ajar.